dal-għodu għamil 13 km bizbal, fil-verità qasbon ħanoħroġ mis-sodda, imma mbagħad ikkonvinċejt li l-nifsi qatt ejja ħanamel 3 km. Flok 3 għamilt 5 il-tqajt ma' sieħ bihom mbagħad u għalli tinduru dawra flimkien u spiċċajt għamilt 13 km men.
Dejja ftakart li it is you versus you u ħadd ma ħajamel ix-xogħol għalik ħlif inti.
Good morning, welcome to today's video. I just finished an unexpected 13-kilometer run this morning. It was great and I feel amazing. Now I'm going to do some stretching and we're going to sit down and have a chat about this week, the 5th week of the 6-week transformation challenge.
So after that run, this mobility routine really helped to loosen up those muscles. If you are interested in the routine that I am following, I have created a PDF version of this routine. You can freely download it, first link in the description below. Then after the stretching, I did also some foam roller.
So this morning my weight really fluctuated. I woke up at 77.2, then I went to the toilet and I got 76.9. But then I went for that 13-kilometer run, and because of all the sweating that I did, now it is 76.1. So you can see how the weight really fluctuates according to the water weight and everything. So it's just something that we have to keep in mind. So this morning, out of the blue, I dropped 1 kilo from 77.2 to 76.1. Last Sunday, before Father's Day, I woke up at 77.7. Then, I told you, with the Father's Day, I had that big dinner and I overate a bit. However, I did not let that turn into, I didn't do a lot of harm. I just got back on track immediately. It was just one big dinner, it was a family thing, so everything is good. With that being said, on Monday I woke up at 79.3, so there was quite an increase. However, a lot of that increase wouldn't actually be fat, but as we were saying, water weight and stuff like that. Throughout the week I was really consistent. I knew that it was the week before the last, so I had to be on point, and that's what I did. And actually from 79.3 on Monday, this morning I told you I got down to 76.1 or 76.9, so there was quite a massive drop this week. But this goes down to consistency and also training. On yesterday I did some basketball with a friend of mine, and that was a fun way of doing the cardio. And today I told you I went for that run with a friend of mine as well. So all these things help to burn more calories and make cardio more enjoyable, you know. And with regards to training, this week I was really consistent as well. I did all the 5 workouts, and then on Wednesday and today I did the cardio. And it is really important that while lifting, you track down your lifts, at least your main lifts, the compound lifts, the bench press, the deadlifts, the squats, those core fundamentals. We have to track them. And why it is important that we track these lifts, so that we write them down, so that if today, as for example, I have squats, I just go back to the previous week and I say, last week I did, for example, 80 kilos for 8 repetitions. Now this week, at least I want to hit those numbers again. So even though I may feel not as motivated or something, that is the bare minimum that I want to push for. 80 kilos for 8 weeks. Last time I did that, so this week I'm trying to do that as well, at least. But the main focus of progressive overload is that instead of doing 8 kg for 8 reps, I would say let me try to go for 9 reps this time and push that extra rep. And that is how we make progress. That is how we progress, and we tell our muscles, yo, we need to add more muscle, I'm lifting more weight now. So progressive overload is really important, and we do that by consistently tracking our main lifts at least and writing them down. There are many applications that you can download on your phone. On Android there is one that is called Fit Notes. I used to use that before. However, now for some time, not now, I shifted using Google Sheets, which is like Excel but on the mobile, and it's really convenient as well. There are people that actually write them down with a pen and paper, and I really respect that. I have never done that myself, to be honest. I always did it with my phone. However, writing it down with a pen and paper eliminates the distraction that this phone can sometimes bring. I try to, during the workout, I keep it in airplane mode without the Wi-Fi. I just write down my lifts and that's it. Use it for music, and I just keep the Wi-Fi off, because I know that if I turn on the Wi-Fi, something will distract me for sure. And it is important that during the workout we just focus at the task at hand. We forget a bit about the mobile and just focus on the task at hand. And that is how we will manage to get a great workout in without any distractions. And during this cut, the main focus is that apart from lifting more weights, at least I maintain my strength. That is like the core fundamental of while cutting down, while dropping the fat. I want to keep my strength levels as high as possible. Obviously, the more I drop fat, the weaker I will get, basically. So that is why tracking down your lifts, either by using a mobile application or something similar like a pen and paper, really helps to keep saying, have a track record of your lift, so that you can refer back to it and say, I need to hit these numbers so that I keep my strength level up. If I over and over again, just go to the gym and do the same repetitions, for example, 60 kg for 8 reps over and over again in the same exercise, there is no progression, and so we won't improve for the better. So that is why progressive overload is really important. When bulking, you will see better results with regards to adding more weight to the bar. However, while cutting, it is still really important that we track our lift, so that at least we maintain our strength. But even you can add a bit of strength along the way. On the topic of progressive overload, you make progressive overload by 4 factors. Either by adding more weight, so increasing the weight from 60 kg to 65 kg. Adding more repetitions, so instead of doing 10 reps, you do 11, 12 reps. Increasing the time under tension, so if, for example, the bench press, instead of doing it like this, with this tempo, I do it more slowly. I do the same reps, same weight, but I do it more slowly. If I do that, that is another form of progressive overload. And the last one is improving the form. If I do the same repetitions, for example, squats 8 times 8, but this time I have improved my form with using more depth and more, it is a better form. This is another form of progressive overload. So progressive overload can be either one of these 4. The most effective way to do progressive overload, in my opinion, is that we aim for example, let me go back to the squats. Today's video is about squats, everything about squats. And for example, if I'm doing 80 kg times 8 repetitions, I would try to push that up to 10 repetitions, and then when I'm up to 10 or 12 repetitions, I would say, okay, instead of trying to go for 15 repetitions, for example, let me add more weight. Let me say from 80, I'm going to 85 kg. And then I would do, for example, 85 for 6 repetitions. And then slowly, I would better my form. I would increase the reps from 6 repetitions to 8, 10, 12. And then I would do the same thing, going back up to 90, for example. And that is the whole concept of progressive overload, adding more weight with better, so while keeping the form correctly. It's really important that we keep safe while performing exercise. So the whole point of the story is so that you start tracking your lifts. It is better to start now than that you start never. Even if you didn't track in the past, it is good that you track it. Our mind, some people tell me I keep them in my mind. I tend to forget what I lifted, and if I don't have something written down, it's better. I wouldn't push myself to make more reps, more weight over time. So having the data in my hands, I would be able to say, last time I did this, now I'm going to push for those extra 2 reps, for example. Okay, so that's the spirit that we want. So overall, week 5 was a really successful week. I did a lot of progress in this week also. I feel good about the progress that I'm making. At this point, I'm in the mindset of, now it's the time to push, now it's the time to focus, now it's the time to keep everything on point. However, I have to keep in mind that after this 6-week transformation challenge, I still want to keep the results that I worked for. So having that mindset is really important, and I have to remind myself after these 6 weeks, we're still going to keep making progress. This week, from Monday to Friday, I tracked everything. I was super consistent. Everything was perfect from Monday to Friday. Then yesterday, Saturday, I was a bit more relaxed, sort of. I went to the gym, I did the basketball, and I felt after all this work that I did, I should reward myself. And it felt good that I rewarded myself, and I had an ice cream and I chilled for a bit, and it was a nice thing. And also, I didn't track everything. Sort of, I was a bit more flexible with myself. However, something which really is a massive win for me, and I'm honestly really happy about it, is that even though I didn't track everything and I wasn't on point like I did from Monday to Friday, I did not let that trick me into overeating or feeling like a failure. That is the most important thing, that you don't feel like a failure. If yesterday I felt that I messed up, I would have said, oh, screw it, I will just continue to overeat. However, all I did was said, it's okay, I just ate a bit more, I didn't track everything, but it's all good. And that thing of not feeling guilty made me realize that, oh, actually I just maybe ate 200 calories more. But who cares about those 200 calories? And as you saw with this morning's weight, everything was fine. However, if I let that trick me into saying I failed, I would have continued to eat more. So that is really an important win for me, and hopefully you can do that as well. So if, for example, I don't track everything on point, I say, oh well, no biggie, no big deal. So that's a massive win. I hope that you learned something from my talking. Now it's time for a post-run, post-stretching smoothie, and I'm going to show you how I make my protein smoothie. Let's go. Okay, so here are the ingredients for the smoothie. We have the vegan protein, the almond milk, blueberries and strawberries frozen, 1 banana, some more blueberries, and the Greek yogurt. So in order to make this protein smoothie, it is really simple. Just add everything to the blender. If you want it to be thicker, just add more frozen berries and reduce a bit the almond milk. Now for the toppings, I'm going for just some oats, some raisins, and the joy berries. These toppings are optional, but they give it that extra taste. You can just enjoy it as it, and it is still really tasty. And then I'm going to finish off with some of this. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you learned something from it. Now it's the last week of the 6-week transformation challenge. I'm really looking forward to it, and also to see the amazing transformations that the participants of this challenge did. It was an amazing week. We're ending it on a sweet note. I'm so grateful for everything, to be honest. Life is great, and I'm super happy to be able to share this with you, and it goes a long way. I'm really happy and enjoying it. So let me enjoy this, and I will see you in next week's video, the last week of the 6-week transformation challenge. Let's do this. It's time to make that last effort. Let's go. But now let me just enjoy this and just relax and chill.